This guy is really funny, and what he does is really hard. It's hard to keep being that funny. It harkens back to another time in comedy, really, when roasts were popular. He is the roast master general, Jeffrey Ross. You can watch the season finale of Roast Battle featuring Jeff versus Blake Griffin tonight, 10 p.m. on Comedy Central.
Nice. I'm not certain there's a better nickname anywhere. Seriously,
The roast
than
master,
the roast master,
the
general.
roast master general.
Good one.
Do you appreciate the law that what you do is a bit of a lost art, right, Jeff?
It was when I started doing it. Saying you wanted to roast people was like saying I want to go jousting or something. I had to explain it to people. It was from another time.
Well, what was your inspiration specifically, though? What was your inspiration? Like, were you watching all that old, like, those videos of a sweaty Don Rickles and like going back in time?
Well, I saw a little bit of it because my parents would watch it, but I was kind of young. But honestly, my inspiration was living in Newark, New Jersey, where everybody was busting my chops all the time, and everybody was always, taking jokes and delivering jokes. And I grew up at a catering hall, and I was the boss's son, and everybody made fun of me, so I had to learn roasting as self-defense.
Oh, wow. So take us through some of that. And I do want to talk to you about the thing you did with Blake Griffin here. We were shocked the other day to hear that he's good at stand-up comedy and that he loves to do stand-up comedy. But take us through. Were you being bullied? You were being bullied and you survived it? Your defense was just making people laugh because you were good with your mouth?
I was on the football team at Jonathan Dayton Regional High School in New Jersey. And there was this one kid that would bully other players, other people, and he would jump out of dark corners and smack people in the lower regions. Like that was his big kick. And I always said, and I was studying karate as a kid, and I always said the next time he hits me, I'm going to hit him back. He was gigantic. He was twice my size. And he hit me one day, and I went down, and it hurt so bad I couldn't get up. But I started making fun of him from the ground in front of the whole group of guys. And they were simple high school jokes, but everybody laughed at his big forehead and his hairy knuckles, and he never bothered me again. And I realized that being a guy that could make fun of people had value. It could save my life.
Wow. Did you realize it on the spot? Because it's a fairly amazing thing to make a career from on your knees in front of the bully.
I didn't realize it on the spot, but I realized it. I didn't know it would be a career. I just thought it would be something like, oh, wait a second, wit can be powerful, and you don't always have to use your fists. You can use your mind. I call roasting, we call it a verbal sparring, if you will. And, I also played sports, so smack talk was a big part of my childhood. And if you get good at that, it can really propel your game. And on top of that, I was taking karate lessons as a little kid, and it all added up where it gave me the confidence to talk smack. I could back it up.
Jeff, I'm wondering, because you've had so many big-time celebrities that you've had the opportunity to roast, who was on your bucket list of roasts?
Stugotz.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It would be an honor, I got to tell you.
Oh, we'd love to do it with you. We would love to roast Stugotz with you.
I want to win the first Roasting Suey Award or whatever the heck.
It would be an honor, but do you have someone who's a bigger celebrity than me?
You know what? I mean, one of the ex-presidents, Clinton, Obama, Bush, that would be a fun roast. I've never done anything like that. I'd love to roast Kanye and Kim. I know she has a good sense of humor. I'd love to find out if he does too.
That was your answer.
and honestly, I think more and more athletes are getting into it. I feel like it's a natural progression of sports smack talk to go into roasting. So a great sports legend would be fun.
Well, what do you have here that
you guys have any ideas?
Yeah, we'll come up with some for you because there's something here. Like there's something fun here. You've discovered it and you've kept it.
Belichick, I mean,
roasting Bill Belichick.
Man.
That seems like that'd be hard. Would that be? Would you like that challenge?
I think that could be a 3-part miniseries.
All right. So you would like that challenge. What is the roast battle here?
You
Now,
take the jokes. That's the question.
Right.
the
I
roast.
think it helps when somebody's on a winning streak to roast them. I once, years and years ago, roasted Yankees manager Joe Torre right after he won another World Series, and it was really fun. I said, I was talking about what a bad player he was. I said I once saw Joe Torre strike out in 2 pitches.
Well, Belichick's on a
I think
2-decade winning
living
streak, so you're okay.
Yeah, I think he'd be a good one. I think he'd be a really good one. But, that brings me to Blake Griffin. I never really thought, much about him as a comedian. I'd seen him do stand-up at a comedy festival once, and he was kind of funny. And we'd done some charity stuff together in the comedic space. And then one day he challenged me on Twitter to this roast battle. And I almost dropped my phone in my hot tub. I was like, what? It was like feeding meat to the sharks. And I immediately started figuring out how to make this happen. And to his credit, he had the guts to step up into the ring with me.
How'd he do? I mean, I know people need to tune in tonight at 10 p.m. on Comedy Central, but how did he do?
He was terrible. Everybody's saying he was great. He was terrible. He bombed. He's big and dumb and ugly and redheaded. I have nothing against redheads until now. You know what? I don't want to ruin too much, but he really was impressive. He really had me on the ropes, and it's one of the most fun things I've ever done. I must admit, I worked really hard on it, but I'll know for sure that Blake worked really, really hard on it, and it's a pretty funny roast battle tonight.
Why was
we go pretty personal.
You have fun. Like, why was this the most fun?
Because I usually judge the roast battles. So tonight we have Pete Davidson stepping in to judge while I roast battle. And normally judging's really fun because my friends, battle, and I have my friends judge with me. But the idea of stepping into the ring and letting loose, normally I have to wait for a big target like Bruce Willis or Justin Bieber for me to do the roasting. But Blake Griffin, he made it so easy. I mean, the guy dated a Kardashian.
Jeff, who's the...
I kept thinking he was Chris Humphries. I was confused. I wasn't sure who he was.
Which one was he?
Who's the celebrity you've roasted who's taken it the worst or gotten angry with you?
One time, B. Arthur held me down while Courtney Love beat the heck out of me.
Right, very good. Sounds like fun. Watch the season finale, Roast Battle, featuring Jeff versus Blake Griffin, tonight at 10 p.m. on Comedy Central. Really enjoy the creative outlet, sir. Thank you for being on with us.
I appreciate you guys. Love the show. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jeff.